I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Everett, and on Monday we're going to experience a celestial event that occurs every now and then across North America, a solar eclipse. It's a stark reminder that we are a tiny part of a large and complex universe. In fact, let's start there with the anatomy of a solar eclipse. Now, going back to 5th grade science, hopefully these three celestial bodies are familiar to you. There's the sun, there's the moon, there's the earth. Now, obviously, an eclipse occurs when the moon gets between us and the light of the sun. But because this is an imperfect circle, it's elliptical, it's either a little bit closer, a little bit farther. You may remember last October, we had what was called an annular eclipse, where the moon obscured the sun, but not completely. You could still see the ring around the sun. That will not be the case this time around. In fact, a lucky group of people, including us here in Seattle or in Western Washington, will experience a penumbra, or a partial shadow. I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment, but an extremely lucky group of people will get to be in the full shadow, what's also known as an umbra. If you think about that for a second, umbrella covers people from the sun, or the Spanish word for shadow is umbra. That's exactly where that Latin root comes from. So as far as the solar eclipse itself goes, it's going to be quite a ways away from us. The path to totality will run from Mexico all the way through the United States and up towards Canada. So this is all of North America, but as you can see, we are way out on the periphery in the penumbra. So here's what to expect on Monday. It looks like right around 11:30 it'll maximize for us, and about 20% of it will be covered there. So it's not going to be a full eclipse, although the sky will probably obscure a little bit, and it'll probably be pretty interesting to look at safely. We'll talk about that in a moment too. By 12:20, this whole thing is done. Now, if you can't see the sky, you can't see an eclipse. Forecast as it stands right now looks like skies to the south and to the east are going to be your best bet. Now, it'll be shifting a little bit between now and then, but looks like we've got a pretty good chance of that. National Weather Service also agreeing. In fact, it looks like folks across much of Oregon, Utah, Nevada, California, and then in portions of the path of totality, including Indianapolis, where we will have our NBC national coverage. Looks like that's going to be the best bet for seeing it without any obscurity. And then it continues off towards Canada, where folks up towards Nova Scotia had a pretty good chance of seeing it as well. Now, we can't stress this enough. Never ever look directly at the sun, even if it is being partially obscured by the moon. Sunglasses do not provide adequate protection. Only look through an approved solar filter, or even safer is to indirectly project the sun's image with a pinhole or binoculars. In fact, that's exactly what I did during the annular eclipse. That's a piece of tinfoil. That's me without a hat or a comb, and this is what I was able to project onto a piece of paper. You could see the eclipse there just in its portions as it was moving through the region. It was fascinating, and it's super easy to do. Just remember, keep your back to the sun while you're doing it. Do not look up towards the sun through the little holes. You're projecting. It's almost as if you were making little shadow animals. Now, I got to experience a total eclipse back in Casper, Wyoming back in 2017. It was one of the most exciting and exhilarating days of my career, and I got to hang out with this guy. You may recognize him. This is Jay Gray. He's one of the correspondents for NBC National News, and I was working shoulder to shoulder with their team throughout the entire day. Great guy, and he's going to be part of our coverage on Monday on NBC. Imagine a sunset in 360 degrees. That's what happened during the moment of totality. I was standing on a hill in Casper, Wyoming, and everywhere I looked in 360 degrees, it looked like the sun had just set. The light of the sun was diffusing over top of the atmosphere and creating that light. Temperatures also dropped about 10 degrees in the spot where I was standing. It was marvelous. If you ever get the opportunity to experience a full solar eclipse in person, I highly recommend it.
And we begin our live coverage with a live look over the Perot Museum in downtown Dallas. Total Solar Eclipse Day is finally here in North Texas. Thank you for joining us for the Total Solar Eclipse Experience on WFAA. I'm Cynthia Izaguirre.
And I'm Mariel Ruiz. We're coming to you live from the Perot sold-out eclipse event here at the Perot Museum of Nature and Science. And Cynthia, I can tell you I have been looking forward to this day for so long. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Absolutely. Here over North Texas, we haven't seen a total solar eclipse for nearly 150 years. Won't see one again for another 300 years. So we're going to make the most of this today, Marian.
Absolutely, and it looks like a lot of people here are making the most of it.
Let's talk about the weather real quickly because that's top of mind for everyone. Will we get the total experience?
You know, it's looking pretty good. Within the last 20 minutes, we've seen more and more break in the cloud cover. Those temperatures climbed, it got a little bit breezier, and that is helping clear out some of the low-level cloud. I think we'll still be dealing with some clouds higher up, but even then, that's going to still allow us to experience totality, which will happen at around 1:40.
1:40, and then the partial eclipse begins at 12:23.
12:23.
But before then, there's so much partying to be done. Let's get to Sean Giggy here on the grounds of the Perot Museum. You have been talking with people from all over the world, Sean.
Right now because I'm kind of squinting, but that is good news for you because it means the sun is peeking through those clouds and we might actually see this thing here coming up shortly. I got Bob with me right now. Bob, you're 14. Do you mind turning it around real quick? I want to show you the back of the shirt. The last time a solar eclipse came through the United States was in 2017 and you were there. You're from South Carolina. I know you said your mom over here, your mom's a big space fan and you kind of just tag along, but what do you remember about that solar eclipse in 2017? You were 7 years old. What was it like to see that?
I saw like the sun came out and then it went dark for a little bit.
Are you excited to be here at this one?
Yeah.
Was it something when your mom decided to come? You were looking forward. How did you feel about that?
I don't remember that much, but I remember I saw it. We had food and stuff. We watched it.
I know the sun's peeking out right now. Are you worried at all that these clouds are gonna block our view, or are you been crossing your fingers and you're optimistic?
I think the clouds are good. I think I'll see it.
You think you'll see it? You might be one of the youngest people to have seen 2 total solar eclipses. That's pretty remarkable. And you know that this isn't going to happen in North Texas again for like 300 years. So this is history right here. Does that mean something?
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Bob. Thanks for talking to me. Hope you enjoy the solar eclipse and you can go back to South Carolina and tell all your friends about it. I appreciate it. Guys, the sun keeps coming and it keeps going. Hopefully, at totality 140, hopefully it'll be out. It's looking much better than this morning, I can tell you that. You can't just see the sun on me. You can see the sun on you guys way over there.
Fingers crossed, Sean, and we should tell you that Dallas is the largest metropolitan city in the world where totality will happen. The time in totality here in Dallas will be 3 minutes and 51 seconds, but the highest time in totality will be in Ennis.
Yes, 4 minutes and 24 seconds of totality, which is where we find our own Paige McCoy-Smith. She's out there, I believe, in downtown Ennis, taking in the sights. How's it looking out there?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And I gotta tell you, it's hot. I'm here with Israel Padillas. He is an influencer. He's got almost 1 million followers on Instagram. And I don't know about you, but that sun is beaten down, and that's a good thing, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. I mean, not for me, because I'm already dark, but I'm going to turn red after this.
I know. I think we're all going to have a little bit of sunburn, but we don't mind, because as long as these clouds continue to cooperate, we're going to have an opportunity to really experience this total darkness. And I don't know if you know this, but Ennis is the place where you're going to see the longest period of totality. 4 minutes, 23 seconds, 24 seconds, give or take. Is that why you're here today?
Yes, and it's crazy because here in Ennis, this is a small little town. No one knows where Ennis is located at.
Right.
So I'm assuming this eclipse here is gonna put Ennis on the spot.
Right.
And I'm just happy to be here, even with you. Thanks for having me on this amazing show.
Isn't that cool? Is this your first time on TV?
Yes, it is.
And what a great time. And as you mentioned, Ennis is a small town, but it certainly makes a big difference here in our North Texas community. Not only is it known for this totality of the eclipse, but it's also going to be an opportunity to see bluebonnets, because they're in the height of bluebonnet season. You can come and you can see both of these experiences. This is like truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're talking not going going to happen for another 300 years.
We ain't gonna be alive.
I know, we're going to be pushing up daisies, baby. That is exactly true. But this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being here, and let's continue to keep our fingers crossed.
How about them Cowboys, baby?
Oh, let's go Cowboys! All right, I'll send it back to you.
I love it. Today's all about experiencing this together and having fun. And we want to call to your attention at the split screen here on WFAA because the eclipse is already happening in Mexico.
Right, so Mexico sees it first. They will experience the path of totality, and then eventually it crosses into Texas next. So what you're seeing on the bottom right hand of your screen right now is a live feed from NASA and the eclipse starting in Mexico.
So let's talk about the weather real quickly. If we can take a shot of the sky right now because we're seeing a break in the clouds.
Yeah, so this is right over the Peru, I believe, and we're seeing some blue sky overhead. That's fantastic news. If we can stay this way for the next couple of hours, we will be golden. And on the ground, you don't see a lot of people behind me, but this is a sold-out event. This is spread out several parking lots. There are bound houses. There are people just really trying to get a feel for the day before witnessing the partial eclipse.
Yeah, there's stuff happening all over, outside and also inside of the Perot Museum. We're talking about 5,000 people. Now, outside here, we want to bring in Dr. Solange Ramirez from Sloan Digital Sky Surveys, one of our experts that's going to help guide us through what's about to happen.
Yes, so welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thrilled to be here.
Okay, and something that you told us was this will be your first total eclipse. What are you hoping for today?
Well, first of all, I really hope that we get clear weather so we can actually see the corona of the sun, which is a very faint part of the sun who can only be seen in a total eclipse.
Okay, and why can it only be seen in a total eclipse?
Because it is very, very faint and diffuse, and the light of the sun is too strong. So it opaques this emission of the corona. When the moon goes in front of the sun, it blocks that light, make it visible for us to see the corona.
So will it look like just very, very thin light coming out of what it would appear to be the moon, basically?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So the part that is blocked by the moon, it will be very black, and then you will see a very diffuse emission around it, which is the corona. You can also see other things, like you can see planets, and if it gets really dark, we will be able to see some stars actually on the vicinity of the sun around it.
So one of the questions that I keep hearing from people throughout is when is it safe to take off your eye protection to actually view totality?
That's right. During the partial phases of the eclipse, it's absolutely necessary to wear the glasses. When totality happens around 1:40 here in Dallas, it is okay to take your glasses out. And you want to take them out to actually see the corona. The totality, as you said, will last 3 minutes and 52 seconds. And after that, when you start seeing the sun light peeking out again, you need to put the glasses back on.
So talk about what this moment means for you, Dr. Ramirez. I mean, we talk about how it hasn't happened here in North Texas in 150 years, won't happen again for another 300 years. I mean, some people, this is it.
That's right. For most of the population of Dallas, this is it. As you said, 150 years ago it happened, 300 years more is going to be the next one here in Dallas. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And for me, it's going to be my first, and I am completely thrilled about it. And I just want the wind to continue so we can take these clouds out of the way.
And I've heard that a total solar eclipse versus a partial, you just can't even compare the two.
You cannot even compare, because on a partial eclipse, it's still daylight. You still see the sun, and it looks like a little bit like a cloudy day, but in a total eclipse, it actually feels like night. The temperature is going to drop about 10 degrees, so it will be cooler, in addition of being completely dark as the night.
And you said it's going to look like night. You can see planets. What planets would we be able to see if the sky is clear?
Well, if the weather cooperates, if you look to the east, you will be able to see Jupiter. Jupiter is the brightest planet that we will be able to see today, if it is clear. And if you see towards the east is going to be other of the minor planets. But if you have a doubt, just enjoy the corona, because you can see the planets in another occasion during the night, but the corona is the thing to see
And
today.
what you mean by that is put the phone down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put the phone out and just enjoy the moment. It's only less than 4 minutes of your life. Just enjoy it.
It'll go by very
It
fast.
will go like very fast.
Yeah, and I'm sure there will be lots of professional photographers out there, right, that can, take those pictures. So thank you so much for joining us.
Stand by. We'll go back to you. We'll continue having conversation. But before that, let's continue to go out to our crews throughout North Texas. Brittany Moncrief standing by at Fair Park for another viewing event in Dallas. Brittany, what are the crowds like?
Oh, wow. So it's been a steady flow of people coming here in Fair Park to experience the total solar eclipse. You can't even believe it because it's so amazing. And I have with me, there's some students that are here from South Dallas. I have with me Megan and her teacher, Miss Roberts. They're both here from St. Anthony. So tell me, Megan, how are you feeling? What's it like? What's it like for you to be here to experience this eclipse?
Actually, really good. I'm really good. I'm really excited.
You're really excited? Have you guys been learning a lot, trying to get ready for today, or what have you learned?
I learned that it's really high out here. And I think that's it.
And I saw they were passing out some fans just a little while ago because the sun, just a little bit, what everybody was chanting, sun come out and stay, clouds go away, and sure enough, that's what's happening. Miss Roberts, what are you looking forward to today?
I'm looking forward to see how the eclipse actually works. This will be my first time actually seeing it, so I'm actually excited.
Cool, me too. I think a lot of us are really excited, especially since, this hasn't happened in about 300 years. That's amazing. And we actually, like I mentioned, we have the students behind us. We have some residents just in the area, some community members that are up in the stands. And we also have a group of scientists. There's a lot of scientists here, individual scientists doing different projects and experiments that they're working on. And we actually spoke to one of those groups where they have citizen scientists where they're not trained or professional scientists, but they do get some training from some of the experts. And they've been tracking the eclipse. They've been staying along the totality path of the eclipse. They have 35 different teams stationed throughout the totality path, and they're looking at the light rays as the sun reaches totality, as the moon goes right directly in front of it. So it's a lot of excitement here, people from all over here, and I know you guys are excited. You guys, pretty much almost the whole school looks like it's out here.
Right, 3rd through 8th grade.
3rd through 8th grade. And what some of the students been saying to you?
They just want to see the moon over the sun. They're like, what? This is cool. So hopefully we get to see it without the clouds blocking the sun, and we have a good time. So.
Absolutely. And one thing that I do want to point out that one of the scientists said to me that I thought was really key is remember that the sun is a star.
Right.
So with a lot of the research that's being taken place today as this special day, that means that they're able not to only track the sun, but also look at how stars move and operate. Right? Pretty cool. Yeah. All right, we're going to send it back over to you guys.
We're having so much fun nerding out here on this total solar eclipse day. Again, time in totality for Dallas, 3 minutes 51 seconds. In McKinney, totality there will be 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Yes, everyone is dancing over these numbers. And in Fort Worth, they'll experience totality for 2 minutes and 24 seconds, Maria.
Yeah, and you can see here, we're showing you a map of the total solar eclipse time and totality, not just the path. So the white line that you see there in the middle, that's called a center line, and that's the area where it will be in totality for the longest amount of time, close to 4.5 minutes. Now in North Texas, we are going to see it range anywhere from a few seconds to 4 minutes and 24 seconds in Ennis. So we'll be watching that, and like you said, in Fort Worth, 2 minutes, 24 seconds in Fort Worth. And that's where we find our Matt Houston. He's at the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. I know they've been doing some cool experiments there too with sound. So, but what are the crowds there like today, Matt?
It's a great crowd. It's a 150-year wait for 2 minutes and 24 seconds, but I think most of the people here would tell you it's worth it. And obviously, the sun peeking out a little bit, so there's starting to be some enthusiasm here that maybe wasn't here a couple of hours ago. I'm here with Patrick Newman, the CEO of the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens. And Patrick, tell me first what's happening in the Vista today.
So, well, you said it, the sun is out, right? The people are coming here. This is a great opportunity for the community to gather, to see this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, we're hopeful this people will sort of create core memories, emotional souvenirs that we'll be talking about for years and years to come.
One of the coolest things I've noticed about the crowd is just how diverse it is. You have people of all ages. Why is that important? And I know that was one of your goals, was to bring out a different kind of crowd.
Yeah, we wanted the crowd to represent the DFW area, right? We wanted to represent every corner that makes this such a great community to be a part of. And so we really reached out broadly to invite the community to be here and to participate in this once-in-a-lifetime event. We've brought food trucks in, we've got partners from a number of different institutions to really kind of draw in, as you said, a diverse and representative crowd.
This is a research institute, so what can we learn today?
So the science side of us is really geeking out, right? So on the plant side, we're really curious to see what plants do during this period of totality. And, you know, are they going to close? Are they going to open? So we've got scientists that are doing that. We're also really interested about sound, right? And how does sound have an impact on the landscape, but also on the animals that we have that we know are part of the Botanic Garden. So we've got partnerships with NASA. We've got our Brit scientists out. It's just going to be an observation and sort of data gathering moment for all of us.
The partnership with NASA, I think, is particularly interesting. Explain to me a little bit about what they're doing with sort of the special microphones that they have out there.
Yeah, we've got a couple of special microphones that are away from the crowds, right? But we'll be gathering data to see what happens to sort of the sound of a landscape when it goes dark. And we have our guesses to what will happen, but we're one of a number of locations across the sort of path of totality. So we'll gather all that data and hopefully find some common points that suggest that really cool things happen.
This is obviously a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's a one-time thing. How do you use an event like this to recruit these visitors to come back to the Botanic Gardens?
Well, so this is one of the many things we have going on. So there's butterflies in the garden, there's a dinosaur exhibit, we've got goats on display that are part of an invasive species eradication effort we have underway, we've got beautiful sculptures. It's just one of the many things that we do. It's what makes Botanic Gardens so great, is that it's not just a one-time event. We're blessed and fortunate with this solar eclipse today, but there's so much that we have to offer across the year, and encourage people to look us up at fwbg.org to see what we have in terms of classes, programs, events. This is a place to be. It's a great place for the community to gather.
My last question, Patrick, is what does this mean to you personally to be able to look up and see the moon block the sun tonight?
I'm super excited about it. The last time we had a total solar eclipse in the U.S., I was living in Austin, and I thought, the next time it happens, I've got to see it. And here I am, living in Fort Worth. It's sort of incredibly fortuitous, but I am stoked. I am so excited about this. This is something I'm going to be talking about for years and years to come.
I think you and me both, as well as some of the 3,000 or so people who are here, lots to be excited about. We will keep you posted as all of this unfolds later today. Izzy, Mariel, send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Matt Houston, live at the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. And I should note that the partial begins at 12:23, so we're just 4 minutes away.
That is so exciting. So we're welcoming back Dr. Solange Ramirez from Sloan Digital Sky Surveys. Okay, we're less than 5 minutes away from the partial eclipse starting. Walk us through what to expect in that moment during a partial.
So during the partial, what we're going to see is the progression of the eclipse from a very tiny coverage started at 12:23 to totality at 1:40. So basically, as the time progresses, we are going to see less and less of the sun being visually. This is a time where you can observe with your glasses. You must use your glasses during this time.
Okay, and walk us through what solar glasses are. They're not regular sunglasses.
They are not regular sunglasses, that they are particularly tinted, in fact, heavily tinted. When you put them on, you see nothing. But it is enough for the sunlight to go in a safe way and protect your eye. So there are glasses, and glasses sometimes they are of paper, but they must have the ISO standard sign on them. and with that you can identify which are actually good to use.
Dr. Ramirez, let's talk about the map of totality. It travels all the way up the East Coast and up through Maine. Can you take us through it, through the states?
That's right. So as you said, we were seeing in the feed that it already started in Mexico, and it's going to move northward to the east, cross through Texas, and then go to all the other states that there are in between until Maine, I believe, is the last one. It's going to go as well into the area of Canada, and that is the reason why it's called the Great North American Eclipse, because it's going to cover the 3 countries in North America.
And walk us, speaking about the timeline again, walk us through what happens after 140.
So after 140, the moon is going to totally cover the sun, and you will be able to see the corona of the sun. It's going to be dark, like in the night. You're going to see other planets and stars. It's going to feel a little bit cool, about 10 degrees low, and that is going to last for 3 minutes and 51 seconds here in Dallas.
And what are some of the things that we can expect during totality? We've been hearing about the animals, plants closing up. What can we expect?
That's right, because nature is such that when night comes, we expect certain behaviors on the animals. And if you are in an area where there are birds, the birds are going to quiet down, and because they are going to go into their nest and spend the night. And the same thing about the flowers that close during the night, they will close down as well.
And even some plants will stop photosynthesizing. So that's the process, that the plants use the sunlight to make food. That process stops as well, which is a little harder to see, of course.
It is harder to see, but yes, of course, that phenomenon actually ends during a total eclipse of the sun.
All right, it is 12:23 and partial is beginning, Doctor.
Oh my goodness.
How are you feeling?
I'm so excited. We've been waiting for this for so long, and I am thrilled to be here.
Tell us what 10-year-old Dr. Solange Ramirez would be thinking right now.
Actually, I don't think that what I was thinking is just an amazing experience. I have had a full career in astronomy and engineering, and right now it's just a moment to be inspired. And it's inspiring to see so many people here at the Perot Museum ready to enjoy this unique event, and I am one of them.
What is your hope for all of the younger kids who are here today?
I really want them to take this moment and enjoy these astronomical phenomena, and if they are interested in going into sciences, actually take a good think about it and go for it.
It's incredible. I mean, you yourself were inspired from a very young age to pursue this science, and you're going to see a new generation get inspired today.
That's right, and it has been quite incredible for me all this week. We've been doing many outreach events in schools and community centers with children that are interested in going into science, and for me, I know that I inspire them, but they inspire me as well.
Let's look at the screen together, because the partial shot is up right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. If you could describe and explain what's happening, Dr. Ramirez.
So as we see right now, it's only a little bit of the sun that is being covered. As we progress in the next hour or so, the moon is covering more and more and more of the sun until 140 when we reach totality.
And during this time, the shadows will look pretty cool as well. Can you talk us through that?
That's right. If you are close to trees, for example, that just filter the sun and see the shadows, you're going to start seeing kind of moon-like effects on the sun. Another way to see it is with a colander of pasta that has many holes, and if you project the shadow of the sun on the ground, you're going to see one little eclipse for every hole in the colander, and that is actually something that you can do at home with your children when they are playing around and it's actually quite amazing to see.
Wow. So the shadows will take on like a crescent shape.
A crescent shape.
Yeah, between now and totality.
That is correct, and they can see it as well, progressing and progressing, because the crescent will become narrower and narrower at the time passes until 140.
Until totality.
That's
at
right.
140. And again, totality will vary across all of North Texas, but as high as 4 minutes and 24 seconds in Ennis. All right, Izzy, what are you thinking right now?
You know, what I'm thinking is really what I asked Dr. Ramirez, just how this is going to inspire our future astronomers. And I'm wondering, you know, how many little kids here, as we're looking at them here at the Perot Museum with their protective eyewear looking up into the sky, who are saying, this is so cool. I want to see another one of these. And then that other one will lead to another one, and an astronomer who will take us into the future science-wise.
Well, and in fact, we need so many children to go into sciences, because we need talent to answer all the questions in astronomy that are coming up for the research that we do. So we actually need children interested in science to become scientists and help us uncover the mysteries of the universe.
And I have no doubt that today will inspire so many of them to go into the sciences. And you know, I know Sean Giggy has been roaming around the Perot Museum grounds. We have so many people that have already arrived, and they're just spread out all across the Perot. So I believe we're going to Sean.
Yeah, Sean, tell us who you've been talking to, because there are people from all over the world here at the Perot.
Yeah, we have been talking to people. I've talked to folks from Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Wichita, Kansas, all over the place. You know, I almost didn't respond to you guys, because I was looking up since the eclipse has started, and I was a little bit speechless. And this is just the beginning. We haven't even seen hardly anything yet. We're not even close to totality yet, but there are some breaks in the clouds here, and I know we had a shot up a little bit ago. Photographer Cody Markham, kudos to Cody, because he was kneeling down in the heat, with hunched over, trying to hold that shot. It is not easy with a huge camera like this, but I had my glasses on. I was looking up. The clouds have moved in the way right now, but you can see just a tiny start of like a thumbnail on the right-hand side of that sun. You can see the moon just starting to move in place. It's behind the clouds right now, so we can't see anything. But just that little bit we saw already. I know you're seeing the NASA feed right now of the sun. And if you just look at it, it's already captivating. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in totality. But all around us right now, people are starting to stop in place, which was expected. We're still, you know, about an hour and 15 minutes or so, hour and 10 minutes away from totality, and people are just stopping and standing in place already to watch this here at the Perot Museum. So it's already captivating people. It's captivating me. I just wish these clouds would move again. It was looking wonderful a second ago. But yeah, we have some kids. I had a 2.5-year-old I was going to talk to, but she's enjoying the inflatables and the bounce houses. I was going to see if she even cared about the eclipse, because, you know, kids and inflatables might be a little more interesting than an eclipse, but I'll have to track her down and get back to you guys and see what she thinks. See what our littlest ones, our littlest Texans think about this eclipse. I think the clouds have a break right now. I'm going to take a look at this again. Hopefully we got a shot for you so you can see the beginning of this eclipse. The partial has begun. Totality coming up in just a little over an hour. Looking forward to it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right, Sean. Totality at 1:40 with maximum at around 1:42 this afternoon. And what a cool shot of the partial eclipse already. I can't imagine what's to come.
I know it, and it's only going to get better and better, Izzy. And, you know, Sean Giggy is a huge space nerd, so I know he's enjoying this just as much as some of those kids out there just here at the Perot.
Giggy geeking out. We want to go to Brittany Moncrief. She's at Fair Park, where we have another total solar eclipse viewing with thousands of people. And Brittany, y'all are having a great time out there.
Absolutely. The band just got started playing, and we see actually a lot of the crowds that are up there jumping. But take a look at this partial eclipse that's starting. Look at it. Look at it. It's amazing. It's a little hard to see again because of the clouds, but the clouds are kind of going brushing right over. I don't know if you guys might notice, like during the Halloween time, when you get that look where you can probably see like a witch going across past the moon or something like that. It kind of looks like that, little shady. Oh, we lost a little bit of it. That's because of those clouds there, but we're hoping that those clouds move. It looks like they're steady moving, so we'll probably get another glimpse of it. But it's so amazing to see, again, with our safe glasses on. It's amazing to see, you know, the sun up there, and you can just see like the little edge of the moon down at the lower right that's starting to make its way across the sun. And it's so cool, everybody. It's so cool to see this, because hey, it'll be hundreds of years before we're able to see it again here in Dallas. So this is truly a big experience, and everyone here is excited. We've been seeing the kids put on their glasses a little.
Russ Mitchell, along with the Eclipse guru, Betsy Kling, on what has already been and what is going to be in just a few moments an historic afternoon in Northeast Ohio.
Not only is it historic, it is beautiful, and we're going to get to see everything. We have a front row seat to totality here. We are coming to you live from the front steps of the Great Lakes Science Center, and we are just minutes away from totality here during our total solar eclipse in Cleveland. You know, we are also going to be getting you ready for baseball today. There's that whole other thing that's going on. Of course, first pitch is coming up at 5:10.
As the mighty OJs from Canton, Ohio would say, we got you covered from the east side to the west side. We've been going across the bridge today. We've got crews everywhere. They're going to tell us what's happening in their part of the world. You're seeing them right there, and as Betsy said, we have a crew at the ballpark as well. Mr. James Donovan is there. Also, NASA is providing a feed of this once-in-a-lifetime event. We're going to keep this up on your screen so you can see this the entire time. We want you to see what's happening as we prepare you for that total solar eclipse.
And we've been watching the shadow of the moon crossing the United States at a whopping 1,500 plus miles per hour. So it moves right along this path of totality. It's already been through Dallas and Indianapolis. It's on its way to Cleveland and then heads off to Buffalo and eventually makes its way over toward Canada too. It has been so exciting to follow this path, and it goes right over Northeast Ohio. And Cleveland is right in the middle of all of it.
At 1:59 or so this afternoon, it started.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a little dusk out here right now. It's kind of bizarre
The
looking.
color is very gray and flat, and it's just going to get cooler.
It is cooled down, as you said, significantly out there. She would know about that. She's the chief, after all. You know, the big cheese, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson is here, and I got to talk to him a few minutes ago. Of course, he's a former senator. He was on a space shuttle mission back in 1986. So I said to him, Administrator, what is easier, negotiating the halls of Capitol Hill or being administrator of NASA? Here's what he told me.
The privilege of being a part of the NASA team is an unrivaled experience, particularly since 38 years ago, I got to see it as a crew member of the 24th flight of the space shuttle, and now to see it and see these folks are a bunch of wizards, and they make the impossible possible. And I get to be a part of this, so I can tell you it's a lot more fun.
I also asked him why he came to Cleveland and go anywhere in the country. He said, well, we knew the sun was going to be out here. That's why he's here. So we like that. Let's take a look now at these drone pictures of the Science Center here. There are thousands out here. They've been here for hours, anxiously anticipating this historic afternoon. And joining us right now, a familiar face to 3 News. You know him if you've watched us here. NASA Administrator, Associate Administrator, Jim Free.
That's right. Jim, you've joined us before with our Artemis coverage. So exciting. You're a Northeast Ohio guy, Cleveland born, bred, still live here.
Yes, I do.
What a great day for Cleveland, right?
It's fantastic. Yeah, the number of people are just astounding, and the enthusiasm that is out here right now is just great to see.
So you, when we last talked to you, we sat down. You had a different title. It was a very long title. You got a promotion, and you kind of chuckled at that promotion. Associate Administrator. So there's Administrator, Deputy Administrator, Associate Administrator. So you're the third big cheese of NASA. How big of an opportunity is this eclipse for NASA as an outreach possibility?
It's really fantastic. We always look for things to inspire people around science or engineering, and I think this is just another opportunity for that. Artemis was certainly that. Everything we've seen with the James Webb Space Telescope, every picture coming from Mars, what you see today, people think about the science of our sun. This is what we're calling our big year in heliophysics, the study of the sun. We have the Parker Solar Probe that's going to fly through the closest approach to the sun later this year in December. It's those things that inspire people, young and old, every single walk of life, that can say, hey, I wonder what the corona of the sun really means, and why does it matter to me, and what can I learn about the history of our universe just from that.
Jim, I know that Jim was telling you earlier that you have never seen a total solar eclipse.
I have not.
What are you looking forward to this afternoon?
I think just that moment that totality comes and what you feel. Like I'm a very much a sensory person. Seeing a launch is very sensory oriented for me. So what is the sense that I feel? What's the temperature drop you already described, that feeling of darkness, and what do you hear during the eclipse? I think, and just the people around us, it'll be interesting to see what their reaction is as well.
Well, we are here with tens of thousands of people, so we're going to hear a lot of cheering. I guarantee you I'll be crying at some point, because for 7 years I've been stressed about today's weather, and it has performed beautifully.
I mean, you put in the word and look what happened.
It's worked out, right? It's like I know somebody, don't I? Certainly. All right, what's next for you and what's next for NASA? Quickly.
Well, I think we're trying to get to our first Artemis launch with crew. That'll be September of next year. I mentioned the Parker Solar Probe coming up. You'll be hearing a lot more about Mars sample return in the near term as well. And of course, every day we're flying humans in space, and we've been doing that for over 24 years now.
Yeah, it's so exciting. The Orion capsule is out at NASA Armstrong facility right now. That's the one that flew. So we're still right in the thick of things here in Northeast Ohio. Of course, NASA Glenn leading the charge on that.
And thanks for everything you're doing to bring this message today.
Of course. Jim Free
Jim,
joining
good to see
us.
you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.
Northeast Ohio guy.
I know, it's so exciting.
As you mentioned.
We claim him as our own.
That's right. Let's take a look at Progressive Field right now. The park opened at 2 o'clock today for the home opener at 5:10. It did not disappoint. The Guardians taking on the Chicago White Sox this afternoon, and the lines were long. These folks waited to get in. Anyone with a ticket there can watch the eclipse. As we said, the gates opened at 2 o'clock. So quite a great time over the ballpark as well. Excitement there. Who do we go to at the ballpark? Who is the guy at the ballpark? Who is the guy that we always go to this time of year at the ballpark, who puts it all in perspective for us? Mr. James Donovan. Jimmy, how are things there?
I'll tell you, Russ and Betsy, this is incredible inside Progressive Field. Big crowd in here, all eyes going upward. As a matter of fact, not only a big crowd, but all of the Guardians are outside their dugout here on the third base side, and equally so over on the first base side, the Chicago White Sox, today's opponent in the home opener. They're all outside too. The temperature is dropping here. The anticipation is very high. Coming up at 5:10, a different kind of totality. It will be total baseball for the home opener when the Guardians open up against the Chicago White Sox, all right here on Channel 3. Russ and Betsy, this is the most unique home opener ever in Cleveland, as we send it back to you.
All right, Jimmy, thank you so much.
We get to see it.
We do. Are you crying yet?
I will be.
All right.
Stand by.
It's coming up. Stay with us, because after the break, the wait is over. We will be with you here live as totality goes over Northeast Ohio. An incredible moment. We'll experience it with you coming up in just a moment. Stay with us.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience. and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. We are professional grade GMC.
Says we need to buy out the truck's lease or give it back.
How are we going to run a business without a truck?
How are we going to run a business without a truck?
You can't.
So let's figure out a plan to keep you guys on the road.
Coffee, Craig? Thank you. Can Adam have a cup too?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors.
All right, all packed up for the great outdoors. There you go. Man, there is nothing like this. Really living off the grid.
Yep, living off the land.
You got that right.
Popcorn?
Yes, please.
All right, there you go. I like what you did with the lights here.
Mother Nature puts on a good show, doesn't she?
Absolutely.
You already know us for our top-tier windows, but what about our selection of beautiful entry doors? Choose from a wide range of doors in colors and styles designed to fit your home and budget. Our entry door systems offer enhanced home security, energy efficiency, and instant curb appeal. Plus, our experts will install your new door in as little as a day, so you won't have to wait long for a Window World welcome home. Contact Window World for a free quote.
What time is it?
We're coming.
It is 3:10.
Oh
and
my
welcome
gosh.
back. Here we are at the Science Center. It is 3:10 Eastern Time here in Cleveland, and it's a happening.
It's happening. We have just a little slice left. If you're not able to get to a window or you can't see outside, we're going to guide.